Well, good morning. I'm Sheriff John Rutherford, and once again, we're pleased to be hosting this annual Domestic Violence Awareness Kickoff event. And I want to thank our special guests who are here with us today. We have Michelle Barth from the Mayor's Office, and of course Ellen Seiler from Hubbard House, who is CEO over there and has been working with us for many years. Peggy Payne, CEO at Quigley House. Commander Patrick Dooley. Pat Dooley is over here from Jacksonville Beach, as well as Sergeant Keith Brown. Also from Detective Scott Parker from Neptune Beach is here as well. We have Sergeant David Murray from the Baker County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for being here, Sarge. Who's joined by their victims advocate, Rachel Solkowski. Rachel. And then there's also Teresa Simak from the Assistant State Attorney's Office and chairperson of the Duval County Fatality Review Team. And we also have Assistant State Attorney Mark Morello over here. And also a very special guest, Miss Stacy O'Brien, who is our survivor. So also in attendance today from JSO, we have Lieutenant Scott Dingy. Here we go. And members of our sex crimes and family violence unit, as well as other JSO members who are committed to this issue, and of course our victims advocate, Ms. Kathy Fennell. Kathy, where are you? Right here. Let's get, there she is. Okay. All of us up here today stand together to show our solidarity in addressing the issue of domestic violence in our region. We know the importance of working together to make sure that we are united on a united front on this issue, and we're out in front on all levels. That includes enforcement, social services, and public education. Domestic violence continues to be a genuine issue in our community, in our neighborhoods, and sadly among families of people that we know. Each year I stand before you and tell you about the number of domestic related incidents that we've had. That number is down so far this year, which is good news. We're down from 4,753 this year against 5,656 last year, which is about a 16% decline, which is good news, but it's nothing to celebrate. Because while we know we are doing all in our power to continue to grow awareness of this issue, still we have 4,700 incidents, and that is far too many to accept in this community. I know it's uncomfortable for the public to hear this, but for us, it is a good thing. It's a good thing every time a victim finds the courage to call us and let us know what's going on so that we can intervene. And that intervention is critical. For the victims of domestic violence, and again, there have been more than 4,700 incidents here so far this year, the sooner we can help the victim get the necessary services the first time they're victimized in a domestic incident, the more we can help prevent a domestic violence incident in the future, or even a domestic murder from occurring in the future. In Duval County alone, there have been 10 domestic violence related murders in 2012. That's the same number we had year to date last year. One very successful initiative against domestic violence is a program known as INVEST. And the Intimate Violence Enhanced Services Team, which is a collaborative response to domestic violence involving JSO, Hubbard House, and the city. I'm told that the INVEST team received 90 victims into the program for the fiscal year 11-12, which just ended. Now that was a decrease from the previous year. We had 132 last year, 90 this year. But for us, one of the most compelling facts about this program is that when reports are identified and reviewed for the program, those victims that receive services from the INVEST program are not among the 10 murder victims this year as a result of domestic violence. And so we know that program works. That's why this outreach is so important, to get folks to call us at the first episode of domestic violence. All too often when someone ends up murdered, we find there was no police involvement and the victim had not contacted a local shelter. Family and friends may have known of the violence, known of the threats, but there was no opportunity for police to intervene or prevent that homicide. That is why it is vital for us to raise awareness of the issue of domestic violence and of the help that is available through our INVEST program. And that is why, again, public awareness is so very important. JSO and Hubbard House continue to have a strong partnership in working towards ending domestic violence, as do the other shelters and law enforcement branches here in Northeast Florida. Our officers are going to proudly wear the purple pin as a reminder to our community and to enhance public awareness of domestic violence in our community. And so with that, we also have a proclamation from the mayor's office, and I'm going to ask Michelle Barth to come up and read that to you. Thank you, Michelle.
Good morning. Mayor Brown regrets that he cannot be here himself this morning, but he has asked me to read this proclamation on his behalf. Whereas domestic violence is a crime that endangers women, children, and men, and whereas every year it is estimated that more than 25,000 local women, children, and men crossing all economic, racial, and social lines are victims of domestic violence. And whereas the crime of domestic violence destroys an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity. And whereas the destructive impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, affecting families, corporations, criminal justice systems, medical communities, and society as a whole. And whereas it is vital for our community to support victims of domestic violence and their children who suffer grave financial, physical, and psychological losses, to impose legal sanctions on the perpetrators of domestic violence and to help perpetrators overcome their abusive behavior. And whereas Hubbard House strives to eradicate domestic violence in our city, and whereas Hubbard House provided services to 5,134 victims of domestic violence and their children, as well as intervention services to 494 offenders. Now, therefore, I, Alvin Brown, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of Jacksonville, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 2012 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Jacksonville, and call upon all citizens to join me in recognizing the vital role Hubbard House plays in our community and to work to eliminate personal and institutional violence against women, children, and men, thus helping make every relationship violence-free. Signed, Alvin Brown.
Thank you, Michelle. Nice proclamation there. And also, we are now going to hear from Teresa Simak, the Assistant State Attorney, who is our Duval County Fatality Review Chair, and to talk about domestic violence and the sad fact of mortality review.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Each year, the Domestic Violence Fatality Review Team reviews all of the domestic violence homicides that occur in Duval County for the prior calendar year. This year, we reviewed 11 domestic violence fatality cases that occurred in Duval County. In those cases, 64% were intimate partners. Domestic violence between intimate partners must be taken seriously. There is still a gender disparity. In 2011, 55% of the suspects were male. Men displaying violence towards women need intervention, and the victims need intervention as well. In 2011, 64% of the victims were white, 36% of the victims were black. 9% of the suspects and 36% of the victims had prior domestic violence arrests. All agencies need to be aware of the history of domestic violence when they are presented with a case. Prosecution and sentencing should remain aggressive. 18% of the suspects in those homicides had substance abuse arrests. Treatment in these cases needs to be a dual treatment for the violence as well as the substance abuse. 1 suspect and 4 victims had a history of domestic violence. Batterer's intervention was never ordered by the courts. The criminal justice system needs to further use certified batterer's intervention programs, and the punishment for the non-compliance of those programs should be severe. 14% of the intimate fatalities involved couples that were no longer living together at the time. That means efforts to leave may not alleviate the potential for future fatalities, and we all need to be aware of that. Domestic violence knows no gender barrier. It knows no racial barrier. And in the last 15 years, it knows no physical barrier. There has been a domestic violence homicide in every zone that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office covers. We all need to pay very close attention to these cases. I thank you for your time. Sheriff, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. And I'll mention that's one reason we have a very pro-arrest policy here at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in dealing with domestic violence. If we find evidence that domestic violence has occurred, we will make an arrest. And the reason we do that is because it's important that the violator understand that it is against the law to batter your spouse. And sometimes it's not until they actually get those handcuffs placed on them that they realize, hey, this may be a crime. And so we are very pro-arrest here at JSO in dealing with domestic violence. And now, one of our close friends here at JSO to give us an update on Northeast Florida Domestic Violence Centers is Ellen Seiler, Chief of Hubbard House. Ellen?
Sheriff, let me go ahead and pin this on you now so I don't forget which side you want. This one here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, I did not stick him. Yeah.
That's why I gave her the pocket.
I'm saying. Yes, he's not taking any chances. Well, I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank Peggy Payne from Quigley House to be here to show our united support on this issue. She serves Quigley House in Clay County. And we are here to draw attention to National Domestic Violence Awareness Month and to raise awareness of the issue of domestic violence. We're really blessed in Northeast Florida to have the strong working relationships we have with the sheriff and with our other law enforcement branches. And to have officers willing, not only willing, but eager to wear these purple ribbons through the entire month of October to show their support, and so when people ask them, they can explain what it's about. We also have a city government that's willing and eager to go after grants to help us and administer those grants. We have wonderful relationships with the judiciary, with the state attorney's office, with the clerks, with the, I said state attorney's office, batterers programs, and with all the shelters in the area. And all of us are willing to try new things and to really reach out for ways to help keep victims safe in our community and to hold abusers accountable. My hope for this press conference is that somebody out there will hear what's being said today and that will make a call that will save their life or someone else's life. We need you to call because we can only do so much. We're doing the very best we can to save lives, but most of the people who've been killed in the last 15 years in Jacksonville, there was never a police report, there was never a call to the shelter. So we did not have an opportunity to intervene, yet others knew. So please, if you are living with violence or you know someone who's living with violence, make a phone call. If there's immediate danger happening, call the police. They're the ones that need to be called. If you need someone to talk to, or you're not sure what to do, or you need a safe place to stay, call the hotline. That number is 1-800-500-1119. Please call. We really need, through this month and through these activities, to get across the fact that domestic violence between intimate partners can turn deadly at any period in time. If you're living with violence or if you're living with threats, we need you to act so we can help. Now, I want to introduce Stacey O'Brien, who is a member of our staff and a survivor of domestic violence, because I think she can say much more powerfully than I can what can be done if you make that call and what we can do to help you. So Stacey, thank you for being willing to speak today.
Thank you for coming out this morning. Years ago, I was in a very abusive relationship. I felt heartbroken, confused, and very beaten down. I couldn't understand how someone that I loved so much and planned on spending the rest of my life with could put his hands on me. I did not have the strength to leave. I was afraid of what he would do if I left. It was my mother that called the Hubbard House hotline. She inquired about services after she noticed bruises that I had on my arms at a family gathering. The very next week, she drove me to my first support group meeting. Listening to the other women tell their stories helped me build the strength and courage to leave. After I left, the violence escalated. It came to a head when he kidnapped my daughter. After I got her back, I stayed in the shelter there with her. She was 3 years old. I will be forever grateful for the services that I received there. My daughter had her own advocate. She attended Hubbard House's Therapeutic Child Care Center, and I received counseling that helped me understand the domestic violence history in my family and how deeply rooted it really was, and the effect that it had on my children. I feel so fortunate that I had a strong support system. If you're a victim of domestic violence, please allow Hubbard House to be a part of your support system. If you know someone that is a victim, please let them know that the violence that's happening to them is not their fault, and encourage them to reach out for services. I learned from personal experience that often the violence escalates when you attempt to leave the relationship. A Hubbard House advocate can help explain some things that you can do to stay safe and help you make the best decisions for your family if you're in a relationship where there's violence. Today, I'm very proud to say that I'm a part of the Hubbard House team. I coordinate the court advocacy program. Hubbard House offers many wonderful services such as emergency shelter, outreach counseling for both women and children, and even male survivors. We also, of course, have the court advocacy program. If you would like to connect with Hubbard House services, please call our 24-hour hotline at 1-800-500-1119. There's always someone there on the other line that is caring and willing to assist and help you make a plan to be safe. Thank you, and thank you for coming out and hearing what I have to say.
Alrighty. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here this afternoon as we highlight the need for public awareness. Appreciate the media being here to help us get the word out to our community. And Helen, thank you for being a great partner here in Jacksonville. Tremendous resource for our officers to draw upon, and I know we all appreciate it. So also want to thank other law enforcement agencies here from Northeast Florida. Thank you all for being here. This is an issue that touches everyone, every agency, and every community. So thank you all very much. And with that, we will conclude, and we want to do the pinning.
I already pinned you, so you're good.
Pardon? Oh, you already did. Okay. Well, thank you. Any
Questions?
comments or questions? Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We want to get a picture of the